Recovering from a stroke, a brain injury, or a serious illness can feel like one of the most overwhelming journeys a person and their family will ever face. But you don't have to walk that journey alone. Today, we are talking about the power of rehabilitation medicine at PAM Health that really helps patients find hope when they need it most. Joining us today for Wellness Wednesday is Dr. Dafferty and, of course, the CEO, Misty Dennis. Thanks for joining us, ladies.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, really.
I love saying this every week. We love Wellness Wednesday and all of the great work that PAM Health is doing for so many people across the Kentuckiana area. But Dr. Dafferty, I really want to start with you. What really started you to become a doctor and work at PAM Health?
Well, I started this journey about 30 years ago. So I've been doing rehab medicine for about 30 years. I started in just regular medicine and then happened to come upon rehabilitation, and it just really intrigued me and helped me see the end of the patient's journey. You know, normally we see patients having a stroke and then sending them over to the next place, but rehab medicine actually is one of the few areas where we actually walk with the patient in the recovery, in their recovery journey. And that really motivates me to help patients get to their next best level, whether it be home, you know, whether it be back to work. So I love what I do.
Yeah, and it's probably just that much more rewarding to see, you know, them coming in, working with them one-on-one, and then finally seeing them gain that independence again. And so if many people aren't familiar with the differences between acute inpatient rehab and a skilled nursing facility. So what's kind of the difference, and how do you really see what's going to fit best for that patient?
So when a patient has some life-altering illness and they need rehab, that's the main question, is how do you differentiate between acute and subacute, or acute and skilled care? So there are a few things that go into that decision making. One is we see what the patient's previous status was, whether they were an independent working person or whether they were just managing at home. So we look at a patient's previous status. The next thing we look at is their comorbidities, if they have diabetes, high blood pressure, whether they need daily doctors to come and see them daily. We also see what kind of family background they have, whether they have a family that is supportive or they're going to go back home alone. We see the structure of their homes, whether, you know, it's a two-story home or is it a single-story home.
Yeah.
And also we have to see the ability to participate in therapy, whether they can participate in 3 to 5 hours of therapy, or they can participate only 1 to 2 hours of therapy. And how long will they need for that recovery? Some people will recover and go home in a couple of weeks. Some people need more, like 6 weeks. So depending on that, we either decide acute rehab when we need a shorter length of stay, when they are more active prior to this happening to them, when they have family support that will take them back home. And if they are more elderly and they have a lot of comorbidities like blood pressure, diabetes, and all that, and they don't have such strong family support, and they were not so active before, then we go to a slower-paced skilled rehab.
Gotcha. So that's like a lot to consider when choosing the right care. And again, everything is so individualized. And so what would you want patients and families to know before they choose PAM Health?
I think, kind of to echo some of what she said, is that there are a lot of options out there. It's very specific to the patient. So I think families should really educate themselves on the most important, where the facility is located, what works best for their family, if their families can tolerate it. And so come and tour the facility, the hospital, and you can tour other hospitals in the area and see what works best for you.
And then quickly before we go, you are the CEO of PAM Health. We feature you guys every single week. What makes you so proud of your team?
Everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could talk about programs or certifications or all of those very valuable things, but honestly, it's the kindness and compassion that they show to our patients. They make our patients feel like family. We have a lot of patients that return to us, and they come back and visit after they discharge, and we really care about the patients. So that's what sets us apart.
I love it so much. So ladies, thank you so much for coming on today on this Wellness
Thanks for
Wednesday.
having us. Yes.
Thank you.
All right, to learn more about all their services, just head over to pamhealth.com.